InShalla and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. I had a little glitch there. I don't know if you saw me go on for like 3 seconds and hop off. But I am Tonya D, holistic Sha'medium and subtle energy surgeon. Welcome to the daily snippet. It's September 24th, 2021. And being that we are in the season of Libra, our relationships are highlighted. And I always find it curious when I do a reading or a divination session. You know, it's really the reflection part of our aspect of ourselves, of how well or how not so well that we actually love ourselves first. A lot of us blame our relationship situations or a story on the love in our life. And it's actually kind of a reflection of how well we actually love or relate to our own inner self. So you kind of want to ask yourself, how could I love myself more? Or is that loving to me? Like every day, is this loving to me? But the elemental energy of the day, we have this Yin Wood Pig Day Master. So it's this yai high. So it's like you're waving to yourself. So finally, we have some yang water on the branch there, the energy of the liver and the bladder, if you will. But our day is actually supported by the branch, and the metal energy will also feel the support as well from the water. It feeds it. And the day master, our wood, is actually going to support the fire right next to it. So, and then that'll actually feed back into the year or back into the month branch. So we're all in this flow. Not quite a figure eight, but let's see. One, yeah, kind of a figure eight in a way. So I would actually say it's really going to be a magical day. As far as the element to ground into, I would still utilize nature, plants, the planet, Jupiter even. If you need to expand or maybe you're wanting to grow something or even ascension, that's the polarity between the physical and the outer world for Wood Day Master. So it's the greens and plants, the east direction. Jupiter is actually going to be going direct soon in Aquarius. So maybe you have been marinating on a plan or what direction to go, kind of future forward thinking, innovation with Jupiter in Aquarius. But where water is related to Mercury and it's about to go retrograde. So it's like going with the flow with your thoughts and being adaptable or flexible. But with it being the pig, being this yang energy, it's more of an adaptable flow of energy versus a flexible one. It's the north of the house. It's the tortoise energy. And Mercury is actually in Libra right now. So again, we have not only an air trine that we've been in, but we've also had this year where Mercury has been retrograde in all of the air signs. We started with Aquarius, then Gemini, and now next week, I believe, the end of next week, we have Libra. So our thought channel in relation to our self really is going to be kind of rethought and also our outer corridor, if you will. But today we have like the self-reflection day. It's a day to look behind the mirror, the 10th etheric mirror that we all have. There's a mirror. And generally, I used to always look at the front side of the mirror, not the back side of people around me, the shadow side. So that's really a thing. So with this etheric mirror, you want to feel into the quality of love that you have for yourself today. So are you open to respond differently to the channel, the core of your heart space, and whatever the energy was that you actually woke up to, the energy that came into your field, your energetic field within the first few hours of your waking state? That's kind of the representation of your current heart threads, or your relationship to your own heart channel, your own core. So whatever you felt or felt like when you woke up today, you know, were you happy, sad, neutral, angry, anything less than, you know, that's a pure read of your heart's channel, the pure threading, if you will. It's like your energetic status of love and relationship to your own core, your own heart. So with the etheric mirror online, it's a great day to go inward to those places and really kind of feel wherever your heart feels, and just kind of accept those feelings and those ideas without any judgment, blaming, shaming of self or others. It really is whatever your heart feels today. So it's this feeling or an expression, it's for healing them permanently when you feel into them and really feel them. And just know that any resistance to the truth in the threads of your heart, that's only, it's procrastination in a way. And it puts us in like a standstill to our own inner peace, our joy, our happiness, and our own personal love, or our own heart space. So you're holding up your flow. You're damming up through the procrastination station. You're damming that up for your heart channel. It's like having a netting in a way, like that gets in the way in the energy fields. So be kind to your heart today and how actually you respond to yourself. But it's a magical day to really recalibrate our personal mechanism, if you will, start a new routine, a new habit within our love chamber. So just be healthy in your response to yourself, those thoughts that are less than loving, those emotions that are less than loving. Write them down if you feel like it, and write in a new response. And when you look into the physical mirror, what it is to say to yourself, when you look in the mirror in the bathroom, like the conversation that you have to yourself first thing, I'm kicking ass, I'm doing great. Or do you say, oh my God, I'm fat, I need to tone up, right? So you really have to shift that narrative in response to your own beingness, your wholeness. Be loving, be compassionate, be patient, absolutely, 100%. Especially sometimes when the rug gets pulled out, you just have to be patient and go with the flow, especially, as well, if you want to start a new nutrition quotient, a new exercise routine. Just be kind. That's the energy of wood. Be gentle. That's the energy of water. As you flow through the day today. And you might also notice areas in your life as you reflect on your love to yourself channel, your love channel, if you will. Maybe you have been a little less loving to yourself, or maybe you're in this relationship that's kind of one-sided, Just smile, take a pause, if you will, take a breath, and kind of recalibrate and get into the flow. And, I always like to start adding more of what I do love into my cosmic soup bowl, whatever ingredient that's needed, as an asset, maybe more so, and observe them as well, What is the quality of how you are self-loving to you on your day-to-day? Or what portion in your pie do you contribute to just loving yourself? I draw little flowers all the time, little circle flowers, and I try to put little tidbits in each little circle with me in the center, actually. So it's a great day to explore and observe just the flow of emotions that you give or practice in self-loving yourself in the conversations, It's really a great day to love yourself more, or, love the skin you're in as well. That's a great little nugget of a program to really just get you started. Take time today to deliberately really love yourself. If that's like getting a pedicure, then go get one. If it's enjoying an iced green tea while people watching, then do it. To get to the core of your own personal happiness, our heart center. So it comes from the love we give to ourselves first. And we often run out of this energy in our core because we are giving it out to other people first, or pets, or whatever that is. But it's like the Christmas gift that you buy for a friend, but you actually really want it or love it yourself. It's that feeling. So just take some space today, give love to yourself first, and really make it a day to practice and create maybe a habit of being loving to yourself first thing in the morning first. Even if you spill the milk, love is always there. Even if you put the toilet paper roll on backwards, it's still there, right? So, and that one always cracks me up, but I won't go down on the toilet paper roll issue, but that's seriously a situation sometimes. The moon herself, she's in Taurus. It's our sacral center. It's really online with our emotional channel, our core processor of emotions, if you will. It's the yours or mine emotional field at the moment. Going to the outer corridor tomorrow, it actually looks like. So what do you value in your emotional self? Taurus is what we value here on earth, and it's also what we value, we manifest here on earth. Not valuing yourself in your inner world, you send out that vibration to the outer world on how people treat you or value you or don't value you. So, really raise your emotional value today as well. Just ask yourself as you flow through the day, if, is that loving to me? And kind of wait for the feeling that comes up. Or is that valuing my emotional frequency? And just kind of feel into it. Your heart center's online, so you're really going to feel it anyway. But with the heart center, I know I have yellow on, but it's the shades of green, all shades of green, deep forest green like fern gully, or light forest greens, the lush ferns, if you will. I'm kind of just musing about all the juicy forests around the world, just bringing in that true healing and alignment of our heart center within both of those. Eating greens, I really am a true salad connoisseur in a way, or I often blend them, but salads lately have been my theme. And being that we are in the season of Libra, you could still utilize the seed sound of heme. It's spelled hum, but it's heme. It's to speak. It's the sound in our vibrational channel, our throat center, self-expression. We could use that all season long through the season of Libra. Or, for today, add the tone of the heart with it as well, because it's a heart channel day. That's the yay. So it's YAM, but it's the A as in play. I don't know why they spell them that way, but I literally have this paper that I'd written probably 30 years ago when I first started chanting through my energetic centers, those seed sounds. So it's pretty funny. And my handwriting is totally different. But with that tonality, just be more loving to yourself and compassionate to yourself. And we also, the magic of the elemental realm, if you're curious about elemental energies, love the skin you're in is really a great little nugget to explore. You could also bring in the energy of Jophiel, the archangel associated with Libra. I talked a lot about him on yesterday's snippet. The beauty of God, the energy of God, kind of a companion to Metatron. So I found that curious. Great little picture here. But you can also utilize the color yellow, the yellow ray. That's why I'm actually wearing yellow, Jophiel, the beauty of God. It's also that connection through our solar plexus as well. So that's super fun. Now, the animal of the day, which I'm stoked about, I tuned out to ask for some assistance there, but let me find the animal. Get rid of you, add you. There we go. The seahorse. So this is super fun. Who doesn't love a seahorse? They're curious as all get out. And they're fascinating. So the seahorse actually reminds us to be persistent in our goals, and just make sure that we're not too inflexible or stubborn in our ways of achieving them. If you feel lost or confused at the moment, the seahorse is asking us to take a good look around us and our situation. In particular, the seahorse wants us to look at our physical and the spiritual so that we can get a better perspective of things. So for me, that's like the mountaintop view. And the spirit animal will teach us how we allow, or that we should allow ourselves to be guided in the right direction, to be, by the flow of the current threads around us, the current. So in other words, when you see the way you move, anchor yourself and stay focused on your goal. But also the seahorse symbolizes, it can be letting us know that it's time for us to make our move, that we've been procrastinating way too long with what makes us feel safe. So let go and take the plunge towards making our dreams a reality. So this creature, and I actually have a seahorse little necklace actually, but it's been considered a good luck charm. So wear your seahorse animal totem if you have one. And if you have it as a totem animal, they're kind of like our knight in shining armor. They sacrifice their own needs to assist others. They have a desire to protect the young and those that are weaker than themselves. So people with this spirit animal totem have this gentle strength and serenity about them. They're usually very polite, considerate, courteous, to name a few attributes. And their features are actually very unusual, but very attractive at the same time. So if you're a man that has this power animal, they're usually reversal of societal roles. This kind of reminds me of Uranian energy, actually. So what that means is if you're a man and you have this power totem, then you might be the caretaker of the children and the house. And women with this totem animal, they want a partner to be very involved with caring for their children. If you dream about a seahorse, this is a power within our subconscious. So that's where we get a new perspective or a different outlook on life. And if this animal is invisible, there's a suggestion that you have an emotional issue that you're actually not acknowledging or recognizing within yourself. So the seahorse actually really goes with the energy of today, with the perspective outlooks. And then here we have, so this was great. So the card of the day, I pulled Gawtcha. It's Gawtcha. I don't know if I put that in the show notes, but I believe I did. But Gawtcha is our sudden shock. It's unexpected events, rude awakenings, otherworldly kind of things. So he's this out of the blue fairy guy that likes to surprise us in unforeseen ways. It's the kind like when you're walking around minding your own business or not minding any business at all, and the universe literally smacks you, blindsides you with something off the wall, usually unexpected demands, say from the government, the tax guy, a bank hole, where you've lost your debit card in the machine and your Uber driver's irritated at you because he's waiting, or your children, your kids, find a magical way to dye their whole being green just in time for your in-laws to arrive, stuff like that. So Gawtcha, he is, of course, he's also capable of happy surprises as well as the shocking and the maybe miserable kind. Or, you could win the lottery ticket. It's those kind of abrupt surprises. But there's kind of this school of thought that says that this is just kind of a karmic role, that we do deserve it for our sins that we have totally forgotten in other lifetimes, other worldly things, which is not so. Karma is really about lessons that we need to learn. It's really not about punishment all the time and meaningless events that don't teach us so much. So this might be karma, but it really isn't that kind of karma. There's also another school of thought that says all of these things are choices that we choose to be there when this is happening. Maybe you're watching it, and we choose sometimes to step in front of the invisible cosmic bus, if you will. So there's some truth to this on one level of being high in the elevated supra consciousness or the super consciousness, the otherworldly kind. This little Gawtcha character, he knows more than he sees in a lot of ways. But most of us really don't function at that exalted, intuitive level of consciousness most of the time or much of the time. However, a lot of us get, we get the hints, we get the hits or the little flashes of intuition, and sometimes the big flashes of intuition as well. And we often say, I knew I shouldn't have gone that way, or trusted that person, or invested in that stock, or whatever it is. But there are actually two teachings or things that Gawtcha is trying to teach us. And he says he doesn't enjoy doing this, but do I believe him? Actually, I do, mostly. But first we need to learn to listen to and also trust our intuition. We need to be awake and also aware. So it's just part of what we need to learn in order to fulfill our life purpose, our potential to really have a happy and satisfying life. Like live in gratitude, really. Without it, without our intuition and our guidance, that beacon, we're kind of sleepwalking in the world, and we're missing out on all the wonders and also the joys, while not missing any of the bumps, the hiccups, and the pitfalls, right? Secondly, another aspect, when there are lessons that we need to learn, or when there are experiences that are really other people's, but they also have an impact on us, that's kind of our frequency and the threading, but we need to kind of roll with the punches, to kind of take what comes to us and learn actually what we can from it, and then kind of regain our balance, posture as quickly as possible as things happen and come in. We can't really control them, but we also can't always get out of their way either. But we don't always even have a choice sometimes about them. So for example, to live with a beloved, for me, it would be Sir Didymus, my little animal buddy. That actually, it probably means that we're going to lose that creature at some point, whatever it is. Because most pets, they have shorter lifetimes than humans do. And other things happen as well, right? People occasionally in life, they win huge sums of money in lotteries, but also we need to be able to take that abundance in stride and not be completely lost in it, right? I think being lost in the moment is great, but not all the time. So Gawtcha really knows that we like to build structures and rigid, sturdy ones in our minds and also our lives. But he also knows that these often, they're not really great for us. Sometimes we even complain about them, muttering about our life being dull or boring, but we also cling to that story, that thread. We're like tenacious at gripping onto it. So it's this inner and outer kind of rigidity, usually, that encourages our stagnation. But the unity insists on the growth, the evolution. So to assist us along, this little being, this little character, he delivers these sudden surprises, these unexpected, even views on life, whatever it is. But, we often, through all these surprises, we don't remember to even say thank you, be in gratitude. Sometimes it's hard. That's kind of his message, doing this difficult job. So for him, it's enough to drive a fairy to drink. And I make jokes about that all the time, actually, driving me to drink, but I don't do it. It's just kind of that energy that's there. It's kind of a funny thing. But you can see from the look of his little bloodshot eye there, he's already been into some of that otherworldly potent nectar, is what I would call that. The juice. But I pulled this card in reverse, actually, and I've been having to get the cards online. My camera on my phone isn't loving me, but so with it reversed, it's stagnation is kind of ruling it. So it might seem that whatever situation you're in, it's forever stuck. It might feel bogged down in a swamp of misery, boredom, and pain. So it is. And it might remain so until someone, usually somebody, a person who questions an oracle, because it's usually when one or somebody has a problem that requires that otherworldly advice, is probably also the one who seeks the otherworldly advice, if you will, gets the divination, and also voluntarily sacrifice is something that we've outgrown or we've clung to too tightly. We're hanging on too tight. So in order to acquire something better, kind of bear in mind that the only truly meaningful sacrifices is actually ourself. So it's our time, it's our energy, it's our attitudes, and even our beliefs. So Gawtcha, imagine this card reversed. He's going to be standing on his head. His cute little ears, aren't they cute? But standing on his head, that's just a suggestion that we can break loose from this pattern by dedicating ourselves to some service, something that's more voluntary and more meaningful, that will kind of loosen the bolt, the nut, and break loose the cement around our joints even, and set us free, get us more flexible, get us in the flow. And he, this very being, he'd love to see us do this, because it's going to save him a lot of effort on his part. Otherwise, he offers in a hopefully positive light that he'll come and assist us to break loose just as soon as he has a moment to spare with everything that he's doing. So just know, I play with the fairies all the time. I have my little fairy village, but the otherworldly, there's no such, there are things as bad fairies, but bad fairies nip and they kind of prod at us, asking for just simple acknowledgement, that their presence is in our lives, in our stories, insisting that we just kind of take notice of them. And the first step to healing and change. So be aware of your inner core today. Put yourself first. Look within your own inner etheric mirror and reflect on yourself. It's like this backside mirror. You can just call in spirit actually and hold the grid and ask to look into that mirror. And really open up your intuitive channel. Be creative. Utilize it for solutions to yourself first. An affirmation to say would be like, I am in recalibration mode, opening my etheric mirror to see my love relationship to myself. And put your left hand on your heart. That really helps open up the heart channel as well. When you have these spirit conversations, it's just a great idea. So thanks for tuning in today, and InShalla, Ashe, and as always, blessings to you, and I will see you tomorrow.